What is up, guys? Welcome to another Behind the Curve Reacts. And today, we're going to be taking another look at Tim Minchin, courtesy of my incredible patron, Mordi. And we're going to be taking a look at a little something called Tony the Fish. Just the name of it, I feel like it's going to be more of like a spoken word beat poem kind of a thing versus like a song. But I could be wrong. If it is a song, I'm assuming it's going to be pretty damn silly. But I don't know. I'm getting like a story vibe. But it is Tim Minchin, and usually when I try to guess what something's going to be, I'm like way off. So I don't even know why I try. It's just something fun I like to do. But yeah, I am pretty excited. I mean, Tim Minchin, very, very funny, incredibly talented. I actually forgot that he wrote Groundhog's Day, the musical. Groundhog's Day, the musical, not the Bill Murray movie. And that's, I think I just saw like their Macy's Thanksgiving Day performance a while ago. And I remember I did kind of dig it. But I mean, if anybody has any like performances from that musical, like on a Tony's or anything like that, that you really enjoyed, definitely feel free to pop that down into the comments. Because I've heard a handful of things from Matilda, but really I think only one song from Groundhog's Day. So yeah. I would definitely be interested in taking a look at that. But yeah, thank you so much, Mordi. Thank you all so much for watching. And let's go ahead and check this out.
I have a particular religious friend I go head to head with and get very boring at dinner parties with on these sort of big questions. And
it's one of these.
He always sort of seems to think that to be skeptical is to be cynical, and that my view of the world sees no beauty, which I always argue is not the case. I mean, I find the world a really exciting place. There are ideas that are a bit more sciencey, that are just as exciting as the kind of magic-y ones, you know, like the one of the greatest ideas of all time, evolution, the theory of natural selection, you know. Not only is it, how would you say, right. I'm just practicing my timing for my American tour. Pause,
that's good time.
Right, and duck. Duck. I mean, not only is it good science, but it's also really thrilling, don't you think, this idea that an individual of a species can be born sort of mutated in a good way. And in the moment of that individual's birth, it holds within its genetic code the potential for its entire species to take a huge evolutionary leap forward. It's amazing. And I always think, what would life have been like being one of those individual mutant freaks? You know, what did the other kids think? Imagine being the first dude ever to have feet. I reckon that would be really tough. And also, what I wonder is, how did these individuals with their new bits, like, how did they figure out how to use them? Did they just stumble upon their potential purpose one day, just accidentally, you know? Imagine you're a fish, and you're just swimming in the ocean with your school, and you're all just hanging out, swimming, same as always, because you're fish. And suddenly, out of nowhere, Tony, fucking Tony, Tony just goes, I'm getting out. Yeah, I'm freezing. You're a fish, Tony. Yeah, well, I'm a cold fish. I just want to pop out for a bit, you know, maybe lie on my towel. I'll bring you an ice cream. Yeah, don't bother, Tony. You're a freak. Come on, school, let's go. Let's ostracize him for being different. Yeah, let's ostracize him. Tony's a freak. Let's ostracize him for being different. No, don't ostracize me. I'm just a little bit different.
Aww.
Oh, bugger you then. I'll show you guys. Fuck me. Those are gonna come in handy. And imagine what Tony would think. Standing there on his brand new feet, on the brink of the beginnings of mankind as we know it. If he could look forward just a few short hundreds of millions of years, to see one of his descendants, an Israeli Jew by the name of Jesus, having a nail hammered through his feet.
My
The
God.
very feet that Tony provided him with as a punishment for having a sort of schizophrenic discourse with a god who was created by man to explain the existence of feet in the absence of the knowledge of the existence of Tony.
Jesus, that took a turn.
I think that would blow his little fishy mind. This religious friend of mine, arguments often end with him telling me that I'm not very open-minded. And because he's my friend and I respect him, I've written him a song. It's called If You Open Your Mind Too Much, Your Brain Will Fall Out. Which I think is brilliant. It's so clever.
Which I think
Unfortunately, I didn't come up with it myself. I read that in a book. So to avoid copyright issues, I've given it a subtitle, which is Take My Wife.
At least he was honest. He didn't come up with it.
If anyone can show me one example in the history of the world of a single psychic who's been able to prove under reasonable experimental conditions that they are able to read minds. And if anyone can show me one example in the history of the world of a single astrologer who's been able to prove under reasonable experimental conditions that they can predict future human events by interpreting celestial signs. And if anyone can show me one example in the history of the world of a single homeopathic practitioner who's been able to prove under reasonable experimental conditions that solutions made up of infinitely tiny particles of good stuff dissolved repeatedly into relatively huge quantities of water have a consistently higher medicinal value than a similarly administered placebo. And if anyone can show me one example in the history of the world of a single spiritual person who's been able to show either empirically or logically the existence of a higher power with any consciousness or interest in the human race, or ability to punish or reward humans for their moral choices, or that there is any reason other than fear to believe in any version of an afterlife, I will give you my piano, one of my legs, and my wife.
Wow. I don't know if that counts as a sign. No, I'm just kidding. That's Christ. I mean, like, he is a pretty funny, like, physical actor. When he was doing Tony swimming around and then the big jump, and then obviously falling down. Oh, these are gonna come in fucking handy. He is really funny. I think the only time I've ever really seen him on stage doing like a whole show was when he was Judas in Jesus Christ Superstar. And let's just say there wasn't a whole lot of room for physical comedic acting in that role. But this was funny.
So I gotta ask, like, after all of these years and all of these like stand-up specials, concerts, tours, how does Tim Minchin have any religious friends left? Like, I don't understand it. Apparently people love a challenge, or they're just ridiculous. Like, I don't understand it. But it was a very interesting thought, though, like life as that like evolutionary leap forward. You know, like, how would you figure it out? How would you know how to, like, use lungs or use your feet? And yeah, you probably would be ostracized from everybody. I mean, shit, you might even just get killed, just die for being different, because they're like, that's probably a weak point in the genetic line, not the next huge leap forward. That's really interesting. Man, that's just what Tim does, man. Funny. And then just really just kind of makes you think. And then connecting Tony the Fish to the crucifixion was just genius, was absolutely genius. But I gotta say though, it is so weird hearing him talk about Jesus, or specifically the crucifixion, after seeing Jesus Christ Superstar. Because I'm just like, dude, you did that. Like, you were Judas, man. I mean, obviously I could tell the difference between, works of fiction and real life, but it is just, it's odd. It's odd. But he did a great job in Jesus Christ Superstar. If you guys have not seen him as Judas, there is a pro shot on, like, I don't know, Amazon or one of the streaming services. It's very good. I definitely recommend it. I also happen to react to it on my Patreon, little shameless self-plug there. But I do wonder, like, obviously, like, that whole bet song that he put on at the end, obviously he's never going to pay out because it's never going to happen. But if it were to happen, how much do you think Tim's piano is worth? Like, I have never bought or sold a piano. When I go into music stores, I don't usually go to the piano aisle, piano section. So I have no idea, but I would imagine quite a bit. I mean, it's Tim Minchin. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to look that up. But yeah, this was really funny. So Mordi, thank you so much for the request, for the patronage. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Again, if you can answer any of my questions, definitely pop that down in the comments. But I will see you all in a reaction very soon.